quarterback in Ohio State history.
Yeah.
3-year starter. The team we just had was pretty good. This guy went 31-3-1. He played with this little guy named Archie Griffin. Some of you might know who that is. Well, he was the MVP of a team with that guy on it. Just Rose Bowl MVP. Need I say more?
And never run the ball without a handoff.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Well, of course, under the circumstances that we're under with Will, I was looking forward to meeting him as well today. But what's good about Ohio State is the intergenerational part of Ohio State. And as soon as I came in here and knowing I wasn't going to see Will, then what beautiful face I see James Laurinaitis, with the old and the new. Comes up and gives me a hug, man. I mean, just makes me feel good because when we played, I played for the great Woody Hayes. And one thing about Coach Hayes is you know he's a football lover, but also it was all about education. And when I was at Ohio State and I had my tour, and the whole 90% of the trip, I was over at the business college, I was at this college, and I was this and that, and I came home and said, "Oh, Mom, they don't want me." All Coach Hayes did was talk about school. All they wanted me to do was start. She said, "Well, son, I think that's where you're going to go to school." and one of the best decisions that I ever made. But growing up in Washington, D.C., August 28, 1963, was probably one of the biggest days of my life. And many of you probably don't know what that day it was. But I followed all these people in town that day, and they were protesting, and that's the day Martin Luther King gave his I Had a Dream speech. I was 9 years old. I heard that speech and believed in it. Never knew 9 years later that I had to practice nonviolence, because at 18, when I came to Ohio State, I got over like 2,000 letters from the Klan and a lot of hateful groups, and wasn't pretty. And being 18 years old and wanting to go to college and get a great education, I thought I made the wrong decision. But when I looked at my teammates, who we only had like 3 black freshmen at the time, me, Archie, and Woodrow Roach, but all my white teammates loved me. And Brian Bassnagel, who was white and played for the Chicago Bears, was my roommate, and he kind of solidified what blacks and whites were about. And to sum it up, the words of the great Duke Ellington said that music can only be played on the piano beautifully with the black and white keys together. So that kind of summed up my life and how I go about my life now. In addition to Ohio State and playing for Woody Hayes and Archie Griffin, some of my outstanding things that I love to talk about is playing for 4 different Big Ten championship teams. And to take it a little further back when Coach Hayes and Bo Schembechler up in Michigan, I mean, it was called a 10-year war. And see, like now, you can be 9 and whatever and still play in a bowl game. But when we played, if you didn't win the Big Ten, you went home. You can be 10-1, but you ain't win that Big Ten conference, you watch the Rose Bowl at home. And fortunately, Bo has never beat me. He's 0-3-1. Yeah.
We don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan, whole state of Michigan, whole state of Michigan. We don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. We're from Ohio. We're from Ohio. O-H. We're from Ohio. I-O. We don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. We're from Ohio.
at home. And you know, when you play at the shoe, I mean, and of course James can tell you that, it's nothing like running out there. I mean, it's nothing like coming out that tunnel and seeing that home crowd. And I'm so proud that in my 4 years that I was 24-0 in 4 years at the shoe, and I'm 18-0 at the shoe as a starter. So what that says, everybody went home smiling. Every home game that I had an opportunity to play in. Big Ten record in 24 starts. My record is 22 wins, 1 loss, and 1 tie.
Wow.
And that 1 loss was in 1974 when Sparty got us up at Michigan State. But they robbed us up there because we scored, and we got the ball back and scored again, and the referee never called the touchdown. And you can look this up. It took 45 minutes, seriously. It took 45 minutes for them to decide who won the game.
Wow.
Because back then there was no replay, and when the game was over, Michigan State cheered. Then we found out that we won. Half hour later, they had us go to our locker rooms, and 45 minutes later, they came in and said that the last play didn't count. And that was one of the first times Coach Hayes told us to put our helmets on because we were going over there in Michigan State locker room. That's a true story. We had our helmets on and we were going over there. But again, it's such a great honor for the Ohio State alumni to have me come down on behalf of the Ohio State Alumni Association. And anytime when you're talking about paying forward, and for this group down here to pay forward like you guys are doing some scholarships, and of course James can tell you too, but Woody Hayes was a big believer in paying forward. And as freshmen, he used to load us up in the vans, and we had to go over to cancer hospitals and talk with kids. And I'll never forget when my sophomore year, first time, and I know James probably can tell you this as well, when he's a hero to some young kid, and that young kid want to meet you, and he only has like about 4 days to live. And you meet that kid and go back and see him, Archie and I, and attend funerals. And I know Archie and I did this over 40 times. So during my 4-year career at Ohio State. So I mean, we paid forward to the fullest. And all of you out there have so much to give. So all of you, I'm asking all of you to look inside yourselves as well. And don't stop giving. Don't stop paying forward. So with that said, OH! OH!